Welcome to our deep dive. You ready to explore hidden potential?
Absolutely. I'm excited to unpack this one.
All right, so we're diving into Adam Grant's Hidden Potential,
Hmm.
and we're going to go chapter by chapter and kind of chronologically through the book.
I like it.
And today we're going to uncover how we can unlock the potential within ourselves and others.
Yeah,
We've got a lot to cover.
we do.
Buckle up.
So Grant kicks off the book with a pretty captivating story
It is.
about the Raging Rooks.
Yes.
It's this chess team from Harlem.
Yeah, coached by Maurice Ashley.
Right. And they defy all odds by competing against like these more privileged and experienced players.
Yeah, they do.
And they climb all the way to third place in the national championships.
It's amazing.
It is. And what's remarkable is that their secret weapon wasn't like raw talent or genius level strategy.
Right.
It was discipline
Discipline.
that was instilled by their coach.
That's so interesting.
And so the seemingly soft skill proved to be like the driving force behind their success.
It really makes you think about the importance of those character skills.
Yeah, right.
Like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you think about all the things that we're told are important,
Totally.
and then here's this story about this team that, like, the thing that made the difference was discipline.
Right.
It's amazing.
And Grant argues that qualities like being proactive and pro-social, disciplined and determined matter more than we might think.
Yeah, he even cites a Tennessee study
Oh.
where these character skills were more predictive of adult income than early academic achievements.
Wow.
Isn't that wild?
That is wild.
Yeah, so it kind of suggests that, those traits
Yeah.
are crucial for navigating the complexities of life and achieving long-term success.
Right.
It's not just about being book smart. It's about having the grit and resilience to learn and grow.
Totally.
So then that leads us to, his next point, which is kind of debunking the myth of learning styles.
Yeah.
This idea that some of us are visual learners, some of us are auditory learners, some of us are kinesthetic learners.
Right.
And he says that that's largely unfounded,
Yeah.
and that sticking to our preferred learning styles can actually hinder our growth.
Yeah, like we get comfortable and then we just stay there. And then we don't grow anymore.
Yeah, and he argues that stepping outside of those comfort zones and embracing discomfort is where real learning happens.
It's just hard.
It is hard.
Because nobody wants to be uncomfortable.
No, but it makes sense.
But that makes sense.
If you think about it, if you only do the things that you're already good at,
Right.
you're never going to learn anything new.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And he highlights this with the story of Benny Lewis,
Okay.
who calls his language learning technique social skydiving.
That's awesome.
Right.
I love that.
And he pushed himself to converse with native speakers from day one,
Wow.
despite making mistakes
Yeah.
and just kind of being uncomfortable.
Right.
And he said that deliberate discomfort accelerated his fluency.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's about actively seeking those challenging situations that push us beyond our perceived limitations.
It is. It's like almost like doing the opposite of what your brain is telling you to do.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't want to talk to anybody because I don't know what I'm saying. But that's when you should talk to people.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And he gives another great example of Sarah Maria,
Okay.
who intentionally immersed herself in environments where she had to use the language that she was learning.
Oh, yeah.
So she kind of did the same thing.
Right.
She's like, I'm just going to put myself in a situation where,
Right.
where I have to do this,
Yeah.
even though I'm not good at it yet.
Yeah.
So they both defied that conventional wisdom
Yeah.
of, you know how to learn a language.
Right.
And they both actively sought out like the most uncomfortable learning situations.
Which is interesting.
I know, it's really interesting.
Because it's like the opposite of what we think we should be doing.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so then that brings us to the concept of scaffolding, which is this idea of temporary support
Okay.
that helps us kind of overcome obstacles and accelerate learning.
Got it.
So Grant offers this fascinating example,
Okay.
using Tetris to reduce trauma flashbacks.
Wow.
I know.
That's pretty amazing.
Studies have shown that playing Tetris after watching a distressing film can actually disrupt the consolidation of traumatic memories.
Wow.
So it acts as a sort of mental block.
That's so cool.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's like, who would have thought?
I know.
So it's a powerful example of how seemingly unrelated activities can actually provide the support we need
Yeah.
to overcome challenges.
Totally.
And scaffolding isn't limited to mental health, though.
Okay.
Grant tells the story of Evelyn Glennie,
Okay.
who is a profoundly deaf musician who mastered percussion through innovative scaffolding techniques. that were
Wow.
developed with her teachers.
That is amazing.
It is amazing.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and it's a reminder that the right kind of support, tailored to individual needs, can unlock some incredible potential.
Absolutely.
Speaking of potential,
Yeah.
let's move on to his insights on practice.
Okay.
So he differentiates between harmonious passion and obsessive compulsion,
Okay.
suggesting that finding joy in the process is crucial for sustainable growth.
Yeah.
So this leads us to the concept of deliberate play,
Okay.
which is essentially designing practice around challenges and games
That's cool.
to make skill development more motivating and enjoyable.
Yeah.
So it's about infusing practice with a sense of playfulness and challenge,
Right.
making it intrinsically rewarding rather than like a tedious chore.
Nobody wants to do chores.
I know.
Yeah.
And he highlights NBA star Steph Curry,
Oh, cool.
whose rigorous training incorporates deliberate play designed by his trainer, Brandon Payne.
Oh, wow.
So by transforming drills into games,
Yeah.
Curry's practice becomes a source of enjoyment,
Yeah.
and it fuels his passion for the sport.
Right.
This approach helps him maintain a sustainable level of engagement and motivation.
Right. Because it doesn't feel like work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a great example of how we can make even the most demanding practice sessions
Yeah.
more engaging and effective.
Totally.
But what about when progress isn't linear? Grant acknowledges that growth isn't always like a straight climb to the top.
Right.
Sometimes it means taking detours, backing up, or even experiencing setbacks.
Right. You're not always moving forward.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he illustrates this with the story of R.A. Dickey,
Okay.
who's an MLB pitcher who mastered the knuckleball after years of struggle.
Wow.
I know. So Dickey's late-blooming success
Wow.
demonstrates that breakthroughs can occur even after periods of seeming stagnation.
That's good to know.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So it's about embracing that nonlinear nature of progress and recognizing that setbacks are often a part of the journey.
Totally.
Grant also emphasizes the importance of having multiple mentors.
Yeah.
Relying on a single mentor might not provide all the guidance that we need.
Right.
Different mentors can offer diverse perspectives, helping us to see our challenges and opportunities from various angles.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's like having a team of advisors,
Right.
each with their own unique expertise,
Yeah.
guiding us along our paths.
Yeah, that's cool.
Grant then delves into the phenomenon of languishing.
Okay.
Yeah, that feeling of being stuck
Yeah.
and stagnant.
Right.
And he suggests that taking on a side hustle or hobby can be an antidote to languishing.
Oh, that's interesting.
So are you saying that like picking up a new skill or pursuing a passion project
Yeah.
could actually help us feel more energized and motivated
Oh, yeah.
in other areas of our lives?
Totally.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it gives you something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Something that maybe you're a little bit better at. And you're like, oh, I'm good at this. This
Yeah.
is fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it makes sense.
Yeah. And he's saying that, those side pursuits can provide a sense of progress and accomplishment.
Total.
Those small wins
Yes.
fuel motivation
Yeah.
and combat feelings of stagnation.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a reminder that sometimes the best way to get unstuck is to simply start something new,
Yeah.
something that sparks our interest and challenges us in a different way.
Totally.
All right, so Grant then shifts his focus to the inspiring story of the Golden 13,
Okay.
who were the first Black naval officers in U.S. history.
Wow.
They faced systemic racism and incredibly low expectations.
Oh, wow.
Yet they overcame these obstacles through a combination of bootstrapping and community support.
That's powerful.
It is.
Yeah.
And so their story is a testament to the power of collective effort and shared knowledge.
Right.
Faced with this overwhelming curriculum,
Yeah.
they pooled their knowledge and taught each other, solidifying their understanding and fostering a sense of shared purpose.
Wow. So they were like each other's scaffolding.
Yes, exactly.
Wow, that's so cool.
Right. It's amazing.
That's awesome.
So this highlights what Grant calls the tutor effect,
Okay.
the idea that teaching others deepens our own understanding
Yeah.
and improves retention.
That's cool.
It's a win-win situation where both the tutor and the tutee benefit from the exchange.
Right?
It also reinforces the importance of community support and how working together can help us overcome even the most daunting challenges.
Absolutely.
The Golden 13 story is a powerful example of how we can achieve more together than alone.
Yeah.
By leveraging the power of shared knowledge, support, and collaboration, we can defy expectations and unlock incredible potential.
That is such a powerful story.
It is.
Yeah.
Now let's shift gears a little bit
Okay.
and look at how Grant applies these principles to larger systems and organizations.
Okay.
So he examines traditional hiring practices, arguing that they often overlook candidates with hidden potential.
Oh, interesting.
He suggests that instead of fixating on credentials and past experience,
Yeah.
we should focus on a candidate's ability to learn and adapt.
Totally.
He highlights the innovative interview model at Call Yakel, which is a call center in Israel that employs people with disabilities.
Oh.
And so what makes their approach so unique is that they prioritize showcasing abilities rather than dwelling on limitations.
That's cool.
Right.
Yeah.
So candidates are encouraged to bring support systems and participate in simulations that demonstrate their skills in action.
Oh, that's really cool.
So it sounds like a much more holistic and equitable way to assess potential.
Yeah.
Right.
That makes sense.
Creating an environment where individuals can truly shine.
Yeah.
Grant then turns his attention to education,
Okay.
specifically highlighting the success of Finland's education system.
Finland.
Yeah.
I've heard so many good things about their education system.
There you
It's
go.
supposed to be amazing.
And their approach emphasizes character skills, play-based learning, and individualized support.
Wow.
It's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And they're fostering a love of learning and encouraging collaboration over competition.
So their classrooms are like the Raging Rooks.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, it's a refreshing contrast to the standardized testing culture that dominates many other education systems.
Absolutely.
And the results are impressive.
Yeah.
Finnish students consistently rank among the highest in the world
Wow.
on international assessments.
That's amazing.
And Grant delves into specific practices that contribute to their success, offering valuable insights for educators worldwide.
So it's not just about having a different philosophy.
Yeah.
It's about like the actual tactics.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
It's about implementing concrete strategies
Mm.
that nurture potential and create a more engaging learning experience.
Yeah.
All right, so now let's explore how Grant addresses the role of leadership in cultivating potential.
Yeah.
He uses the dramatic story of the Chilean mine rescue
Oh, wow.
as a case study in effective leadership.
Okay.
He highlights the importance of humility, recognizing good ideas from anyone, regardless of their position, and avoiding what he calls the babble effect,
What's the babble effect?
which is where those who talk the most dominate the conversation.
Okay. So they're not actually maybe the smartest people in the room, but they're just talking the most.
Exactly.
Got it.
So it's about creating an environment where diverse voices can be heard and valued,
Yeah.
fostering a sense of shared leadership and collective problem solving.
Right.
Grant also advocates for alternative leadership structures, such as lattice organizations, which are more flexible and collaborative than traditional hierarchies.
Okay.
So lattice organizations kind of break down those silos, encourage cross-functional collaboration,
Yeah.
and allow for multiple pathways to leadership and contribution.
So instead of like the top down,
Yes.
it's more collaborative.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's about creating a more fluid and dynamic system that recognizes and utilizes the diverse potential within an organization.
Right.
So we've covered a lot of ground already,
We have.
from the importance of character skills to the power of deliberate play,
Yeah.
from embracing discomfort to recognizing that nonlinear nature of progress. We've explored a wide range of concepts that can help us unlock hidden potential.
Yeah. That's a lot to think about.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And we've seen how these principles can be applied to individuals, teams, and even entire systems,
Yeah.
but there's still more to uncover.
Okay.
In the next part of our deep dive, we're going to delve into Grant's exploration of specific systems, such as hiring, education, and leadership,
Cool.
examining how they can be designed to nurture potential and create a more equitable and fulfilling world.
Looking forward to it.
I'm eager to continue this journey with you.
Me too.
There's so much more to learn and discover about the hidden potential that lies within us all.
I can't wait.
I know.
This is exciting.
It is.
Yeah. Picking up where we left off, Grant really dives into how systems and organizations can either like stifle or nurture potential.
Okay.
And he kind of criticizes those traditional hiring practices,
Right.
saying they often rely too heavily on credentials
Yeah.
and past performance.
Yeah, I've always wondered about that, that
Mhm.
balance between
Right.
past achievements and future potential.
Exactly.
How do you assess that?
Yeah. And how do you know what somebody's capable of?
Yeah, how do organizations better assess someone's capacity to learn and grow
Right.
instead of just focusing on what they've already done?
Yeah. And he suggests shifting the focus from how long someone has performed a job
Okay.
to how well they can adapt and learn new skills.
Oh, interesting.
And he gives a cool example
Okay.
about Call Yakel.
I think you mentioned that before.
Yeah, it's a call center in Israel
Okay.
that employs people with disabilities.
What's different about their approach?
Well, they completely overhauled the traditional interview process.
Okay.
At Call Yakel, the emphasis is on showcasing abilities,
Okay.
not
I
limitations.
like that.
Yeah, so candidates are encouraged to bring support systems like a friend
Well,
or even a pet to create a more comfortable atmosphere.
that's nice.
And instead of like grilling candidates about their past,
Right.
they participate in job simulations, demonstrating their skills in action.
It sounds like a much more practical and humane way to gauge someone's potential,
I think so.
by focusing on what candidates can do
Yeah,
rather than what's on their resume. You're creating a more equitable playing field.
exactly. It's about moving away from those rigid criteria and creating a more inclusive environment where potential can shine through.
I love that.
And this concept of like equitable systems
Yeah.
extends beyond hiring practices.
Okay.
Grant also examines education and specifically highlights the success of Finland's education system.
Finland.
Yeah.
I've heard such great things about those schools.
Yeah.
What is it that makes their approach so effective?
So they prioritize character skills, play-based learning, and individualized support,
Wow.
which fosters a love of learning and a sense of community.
Oh, that's great.
And teachers have significant autonomy to tailor their teaching to individual student needs.
Wow.
So they can really like change things up.
That's pretty cool.
And they value collaboration over competition.
It just seems like a stark contrast to the pressure cooker environment of standardized testing that's so prevalent in other systems.
It is, and the results speak for themselves.
Yeah.
Finnish students consistently score really highly on international assessments,
Wow.
demonstrating that a focus on well-being and individualized learning doesn't come at the expense of academic achievement.
It's pretty amazing how they've managed to create a system that nurtures both academic excellence and personal growth.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Are there any specific practices from Finland's schools that stand out to you?
So Grant highlights a simple but effective practice called the loop.
The loop?
It's like a regular check-in where teachers assess student understanding
Okay.
and adjust their instruction accordingly.
So it's like a proactive approach
Exactly.
to address learning gaps.
Right.
And it ensures that all students are keeping up.
Right, and prevents anyone from falling behind.
Yeah, I like
It's
that.
all about being responsive
Right.
to individual needs and ensuring that everyone has the opportunity to succeed.
I like that.
Another key aspect of Finland's approach is fostering a love of reading for pleasure.
I think that's so important.
Yeah.
When reading feels like a chore, it's hard to develop a genuine love for it.
Right, you're not going to want to do it.
Exactly.
But when children are free to choose books that spark their interest,
Yeah,
they're more likely to become lifelong readers.
I agree with that.
It's all about cultivating that intrinsic motivation and fostering a genuine curiosity for learning.
Yes.
Now, shifting gears a little bit to leadership.
Okay.
Grant explores how leaders can create environments that nurture potential
Okay.
and unlock that collective excellence.
I'm curious to hear his insights on this. Does he use any specific examples to illustrate his points?
He uses a really gripping story
Okay.
about the Chilean mine rescue
Oh, yeah.
as a case study in effective leadership.
I remember that was such a dramatic and inspiring story
He was.
of resilience and human ingenuity. What leadership lessons does he draw from that?
So he emphasizes the importance of humility,
Okay.
recognizing that good ideas can come from anyone,
Right.
regardless of their position.
Yeah.
And he cautions against the Babel effect,
Right.
where those who talk the most
Right.
aren't necessarily the most competent.
So it's about creating that culture
Yeah,
where diverse voices can be heard
totally.
and valued.
Everyone should feel empowered to contribute.
Yeah.
And Grant suggests that instead of traditional brainstorming,
Okay.
which can be dominated by a few vocal individuals,
Right.
leaders should consider brainwriting.
Brainwriting.
Have you ever heard of that?
No, I haven't.
It's where everyone writes down their ideas first,
Okay.
before sharing with the group.
Oh, that's smart.
That way, everyone has an equal opportunity to contribute,
Yeah.
and it prevents ideas from being stifled by group dynamics.
It sounds like a great way to tap into the collective intelligence of the team, while also making sure that everyone feels heard and valued.
Exactly.
And Grant also challenges traditional hierarchical structures,
Oh, okay.
advocating for more flexible and collaborative models like lattice organizations,
Okay.
which we touched on a bit before.
Right.
But what are lattice organizations, and how are they different from traditional hierarchies?
So instead of that typical pyramid structure with a clear chain of command,
Okay.
a lattice organization is more like an interconnected web.
Okay.
So it allows for multiple pathways
Okay.
to leadership and contribution.
I like that.
It breaks down those silos and encourages that cross-functional collaboration.
So it's a much more dynamic and adaptable structure.
Exactly.
It embraces the fluidity of modern work environments.
Yeah, and it's about creating a system where talent can flow freely and where leadership can emerge from anywhere within the organization.
I like that a lot.
That's pretty cool.
Now let's turn to Grant's exploration of one of the most fundamental aspects of human potential,
Okay.
our dreams and aspirations.
Boy, that's a good one.
So how do dreams and aspirations play a role in unlocking our potential?
Well, Grant argues that dreams can serve as a powerful source of motivation,
Okay.
helping us stay focused
Yeah.
and resilient.
You know, I've always been a bit skeptical of those dream big mantras,
Yeah.
but I'm open to hearing his perspective on this.
He doesn't advocate for like simply wishing upon a star or anything.
Yeah.
It's more about having a clear vision of what we want to achieve and then using that vision to guide our actions
Okay.
and fuel our efforts.
So it's about harnessing the power of our aspirations to create a roadmap
Exactly.
for our lives.
Yeah.
By having a destination in mind,
Yeah.
we're more likely to stay on course
Right.
and navigate the inevitable obstacles along the way.
He cites research showing that people with bigger dreams tend to achieve greater things.
Oh, wow.
It's not about the dreams themselves being magical,
Right.
but about the drive and motivation they inspire.
It makes me think of that quote. A dream without a plan is just a wish,
I like that.
but a dream with a plan can become a powerful force for positive change.
Exactly. And Grant's book provides a framework for transforming those dreams into actionable plans, equipping us with the tools and strategies to overcome obstacles and reach our full potential.
I like that.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned earlier that Grant shares some personal stories in the book.
He does.
I'm always interested to hear about the personal stories behind these big ideas.
Yeah, me too.
So what's one that stands out to you?
He recounts his experience applying to Harvard.
Oh, wow.
Specifically, a seemingly insignificant moment during his admissions interview that later turned out to be quite significant.
I'm curious what happened.
So when asked about his interests, Grant mentioned that he had performed as a magician.
Oh, wow.
And his interviewer, intrigued, asked him to demonstrate a trick.
He did magic during his Harvard interview.
He did?
That's bold.
Yeah. And while Grant initially dismissed it as just a fun anecdote, he later learned that his interviewer had highlighted this impromptu performance in his report,
Wow.
noting Grant's initiative and courage.
So it wasn't about the magic itself.
Right.
It was about the qualities it revealed.
Yeah.
Sometimes our potential shines through in unexpected ways.
Exactly. It highlights the importance of being open to new experiences and embracing opportunities to showcase our unique abilities,
Yeah.
even in unconventional settings.
It's a reminder that we never know who's watching or what seemingly small moments might have a lasting impact.
Yeah, I like that.
And speaking of lasting impact,
Yeah.
Grant shares another anecdote from his Harvard experience.
Okay.
And it ties back to his earlier point about embracing discomfort.
Oh, yeah.
He reveals that he actually failed Harvard's writing test.
What?
I know.
That's crazy.
And he was advised to take a remedial writing class.
Oh,
Instead, he chose to enroll in the regular writing class,
wow.
embracing the challenge of constant feedback and revision.
So he applied his own principle
He did.
of seeking discomfort
Yes.
to his own academic journey.
That's pretty amazing.
And the result was remarkable. He ended up earning the only A in the class.
Wow, good for him.
Yeah, it just demonstrates that even in areas where we initially struggle,
Yeah.
potential can blossom with effort and the right mindset.
It's an inspiring reminder that setbacks don't define us.
Right.
With perseverance and a willingness to learn, we can overcome challenges and achieve success, even in areas where we thought we lacked ability.
I love that.
It's pretty cool.
It really speaks to the idea that potential is not a fixed trait, but a dynamic capacity that we can cultivate throughout our lives.
So as we approach the conclusion of our deep dive into hidden potential, what are some of the key takeaways you think our listeners should remember?
Oh man, there's so much to unpack from this book.
I know there's so many.
It's filled with insights and actionable strategies.
I agree.
But if I had to distill it down to one core message,
Okay,
it would be this. Potential is not predetermined.
I like that.
It's not about being born with certain talents or advantages. It's about the choices we make, the effort we invest, and the environments we create to nurture growth.
We all have hidden potential
Yeah,
waiting to be unlocked.
we do.
It's up to us to embrace the discomfort, seek support, and take those deliberate steps
Right.
to cultivate our own growth
Yeah.
and the growth of those around us.
And remember that progress isn't always linear.
Right?
There will be detours, setbacks, and times when we feel stuck. But
Yes.
with perseverance and a belief in our own potential, we can overcome these challenges and achieve remarkable things.
So keep those dreams alive, keep striving, keep learning, and never underestimate the power of your own hidden potential.
Absolutely.
Before we conclude our deep dive,
Okay.
I think there's one final nugget of wisdom from Grant's personal story that's worth highlighting. So Grant actually circles back to that experience of failing the writing test in the final pages of the book.
Yeah, he talks about how after learning from his interviewer that his potential wasn't tied to that one test score,
Right.
he was determined to prove them wrong.
Good for him.
So he skipped the remedial writing class
Wow.
and just dove headfirst into the regular one.
He really embraced that discomfort.
He did. And the outcome was that he ended up earning the only A in the class.
That's incredible.
It's pretty remarkable.
So it really drives home the point that setbacks don't define us,
They don't.
and that potential can blossom even in areas where we initially struggle.
Yeah, it reinforces the idea that potential is this dynamic capacity that can be developed throughout our lives.
Yeah.
It's not a finite resource,
Right.
but something that we can cultivate and expand upon.
I like that.
So what's the one key takeaway you hope our listener will glean from this deep dive into hidden potential?
Oh, man. That's a tough one.
I know, right?
There are so many good ones.
But I think the most important takeaway is that potential is not predetermined.
Yes,
It's not about being born with a certain set of talents or advantages.
Uh-huh.
It's about the choices we make, the effort we invest, and the environments we cultivate to nurture growth.
Beautifully said. We all possess this hidden potential,
They do.
waiting to be unearthed.
Yeah.
It's up to us to embrace the discomfort, seek support, and take those deliberate steps to cultivate our growth and the growth of those around us.
And remember that progress isn't always linear.
Right.
There will be detours, setbacks, and moments of stagnation along the way.
Yes.
But with perseverance and a belief in our own potential, we can navigate these challenges and achieve remarkable things.
So to our listener, keep those dreams alive. Keep striving, keep learning, and never underestimate the power that lies within you.
It's been such a pleasure exploring these ideas with you today.
Likewise.
Grant's book is a wealth of knowledge and offers a fresh perspective on talent growth and the pursuit of excellence.
And to our listener, we hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity and inspired you to embark on your own journey of unlocking hidden potential.
Remember, the journey itself is just as important as the destination.
Yes.
Embrace the challenges, celebrate the victories, and never stop exploring the vast landscape of your own potential.
Until next time, keep diving deep and keep seeking the extraordinary within yourself and others.